Hello and welcome everybody to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I'm Razzle11 or on Twitter Razzle11Grinds. We're going to take a look at some pitching for Monday, April 17th. Some of the guys that I'm looking at going overweight on, and then some guys that I'm looking at throwing a total fade at. So let's take a look here. We get a 9-game slate for Monday night. Main slate wise, I think there are 3 games that start just before the regular slate start, and then 1 day game in Boston. So we're gonna take a look here. Interesting that there's not a lot of strong K spots at first glance. As far as team striking out against a certain hand pitcher. So we're going to start out here at the top. And as much as I love Kevin Gausman, I actually think I'm going to go with the fade. The Astros haven't been great against right-handed pitching, and I know Gausman's been spectacular, but there's just something about the fact that he is more expensive than Jacob deGrom that doesn't sit well with me. So I'm going to be using deGrom over Gausman. I mean, deGrom, when healthy, is the best pitcher in baseball. So, there's no debate at all. He just faced this Kansas City squad and struck out 9 in 7 innings. He hasn't been overly sharp yet. He is allowing some runs. I expect that to change here soon. And I just think deGrom's ceiling is just so insane that I'm not I'm not paying more for Gausman right now. As the day goes on and the research happens, maybe I flip onto Gausman a little bit off of maybe like Zach Wheeler. But if we look at our weather station, right here is the Chicago weather. It is a great spot for Wheeler to attack. Throws hard. That's going to be tough in this cold weather. The overall White Sox lineup with their injuries it doesn't scare me a whole lot. But if everything was the same, I would prefer Gausman. I think he has just better upside right now. And we know, if you've been watching my videos and then reading my content this year, you know that I'm kind of off of the Philly starting pitchers for the most part, especially Nola and Wheeler, based on everything, having pitched into November. I just think that they're going to regress a little bit this season. I will be fading Christian Javier. I'm not making a habit out of targeting pitchers against Toronto. And Javier himself has not been all that sharp yet. So, his best start has been against Detroit, but he struggled with the White Sox and really struggled with Pittsburgh. So, not really a spot I'm going to. But I do like the Corbin Burnes play today, which is kind of weird. I was kind of off of him at one point to start the season. Actually, this start against the Mets. I was then off of him again against Arizona, and he showed up. But I did mention in that video that I have this rule of 3. Generally, elite athletes in their sport, if they have 2 terrible performances in a row, that third game, generally, they come back and bounce back and get it done. And we see that Burnes did that. And to only be 8,800, I'm definitely a fan. Seattle does strike out a little bit against righties, so I think it is a pretty good spot for Burnes. It's going to be a low total game. Pretty good spot, like I said. At 8,800, I think that's a pretty nice price for us to pay. Now, the other 8K guys, I'm not really sure. Dustin May always is somebody that intrigues me because his stuff is just filthy, but he just doesn't rack up strikeouts. And the Mets aren't striking out a ton against right-handed pitching. So I think this is going to be a spot where we want to fade Dustin May. But then that brings in playing somebody like Lance Lynn, possibly. We just talked about the weather in Chicago against Philly. Philly is striking out quite a bit against right-handed pitching. Lynn is coming off a game with 10 strikeouts. Big issue is the home run ball. He has given up 6 of them in his 3 starts. So there is some worries there. So he's far from safe, but he's somebody that I definitely gonna have in my pool. Uh, as we scroll down, I'm still gonna continue to fade Flaherty. I just not really impressed with his stuff. He did kind of bounced back last start in Colorado, which is nice. It's the walks. Like I know he's only given up 3 earned runs through 3 starts, but 14 walks is really worrisome because walks can lead to big innings, and I'm not really going to toe that line. And especially because the DK scoring is an efficiency site, like those extra base runners take away scores. So, the Toronto, he no hit him through 5 innings, but 7 walks, only managed to put up 18.5 DK points, which 18.5 isn't bad, but if you're no hitting somebody through 5 innings, like you would expect more fantasy points. So I'm just going to be off of him until he shows some control. A couple guys down here that I am very much considering. It's actually 3 guys, so you're going to get more guys than normal in a video here. I'm going to lump them together a bit. It's going to be Peterson, Kyle Muller, and then Jordan Lyles. Talk quick. Peterson, the Dodgers are striking out a decent chunk against left-handed pitching. Peterson has been solid, struggled at Milwaukee, but he's been solid the other 2 starts. So I think this is one we could get him, just a 5% share and still be over the field for GPP purposes. Muller, the Cubs haven't faced too many left-handed pitchers, but they are striking out at over a 30% clip against left-handed pitching. So that's going to intrigue me in a big ballpark. I know, like he had 2 solid starts, was pretty bad against Baltimore, but he's back home. Hasn't shown big K upside, but I think he gets a little K increase in this matchup, so I am intrigued. And then the last one's going to be Jordan Lyles. I know Texas just hit him around a bit. He did strike out 9 against Toronto. And what stands out to me is obviously Texas has a pretty high K rate against right-handed pitching as well. And without Seager, the lineup is much weaker. So there is some interest, especially because he's 5,400. The start against Toronto, where he struck out 9, he was 7K. So, like that big price drop in a in a matchup that I don't think is all that horrendous, I'm going to be very much interested in that. So, there we have it. There's that first look at some pitchers that I will be fading and utilizing today in my MME builds. So I appreciate you guys checking this out. If you could hit the like and the subscribe button, we really appreciate it. It helps us out a ton. If you want to join us over at DFS Army and join in the Discord and get access to our optimizer, the domination station, research station, everything we have going on, you can use promo code RAZ for 10% off your monthly membership. I'll put links in the description below. And as always, best of luck, everybody.